Following the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles just got more good news from the National Football League. That's what we're talking about on today's Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. Chase Sr. here with you, and there's a lot to talk about here over the next several minutes, but I do want to begin with today's poll question. We're post-free agency, post-NFL Draft, and so I want you to grade the entirety of the Philadelphia Eagles offseason after the Super Bowl victory over the Chiefs. A, B, C, D, or F. I just want to see where the Bird Gang is at. All right, let's get the show underway. So the NFL awarded teams with 2026 compensatory picks. And according to Over the Cap, there's some good news coming to the Philadelphia Eagles because the Birds have gotten 3 additional picks. Of course, Over the Cap, a great salary cap website. And you take a look at the graphic here. This is a list of all of the teams across the NFL who have gotten some compensatory picks. And then, of course, I took a look at the NFC East to see which teams inside the division were getting compensatory picks and for who. And you see the Eagles there, bottom left in that quadrant with Milton Williams, Josh Schwat, and Mekhi Becton. As far as the precise comp picks that the Eagles are slated to get for the 2026 NFL Draft, because Milton Williams left the Eagles as a draftee and he got paid by the New England Patriots, making $26 million per year, broke the bank. The Eagles are getting a third-round comp pick. Josh Schwat, drafted by the Eagles, he left to reunite with Jonathan Gannon in the desert to play for the Arizona Cardinals. He, too, got paid. Eagles getting a fourth-round pick back for a player who exceeded all expectations for where he was drafted out of Florida State. Speaking of exceeding expectations, last offseason, the Eagles signed Mekhi Becton. The plan was for him to be a backup swing tackle, try to get his career back on track after he was a first-round pick by the Jets. He had a really good rookie year. And then after that, he really struggled with his play, with his confidence, with his injuries. Then Tyler Steen got hurt prior to the year, and in training camp, Nick Sirianni said to Jeff Stoutland, Mekhi Becton, really good athlete, huge dude. We have a need at right guard. Let's play him at right guard. Eagles never looked back. Mekhi Becton never lost that job. And so he signed with the Chargers, $10 million per year, short-term contract, but the Eagles got a fifth-round compensatory pick back for him crossing the country. And what did we see in this 2025 NFL Draft? The Eagles had entered with 8 picks. Not a lot of needs on the roster. Not a lot of roster spots to fulfill. But Howie Roseman still made 10 selections. That was the third time in his GM career that the Eagles have made double-digit picks. So very rare for the Eagles to come away from a draft class making that many selections. And Howie also started to plan for the 2026 draft during this past draft. He was making some trades, stockpiling some draft capital. And with this new news of the Eagles getting 3 compensatory picks for Milton Williams, Josh Schwat, and Mekhi Becton, the Eagles are straight up loaded and equipped for this 2026 draft about a year from now. They will have their own first-round pick, their own second-round pick, their own third-round pick. They have a third from the Jets, and now they have a third compensatory pick for the Milton Williams signing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 5 picks inside the first 3 rounds. The Eagles can either use those selections to continue to build a special football team, or they can trade those picks for a player or to move up in the draft next year. They have a 4th-round pick, which is their own. Another 4th by way of the Josh Schwat comp pick. They have their own 5th, a 5th from the Texans, a 5th from the Falcons, a 5th for the Mekhi Becton compensatory pick, and they have their own 7th-round pick. And so by the numbers, as I noted, 12 total picks so far in the 2026 NFL Draft. 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. 7 picks in the first 5 rounds. You can get some really good players within that range. And that's about 5 picks inside the top 105. For instance, there were 102 picks in the first 3 rounds this year because of compensatory picks. So depending on how many comp picks are handed out, it's about 5 picks inside nearly the top 100. Yo, this is a golden era of Eagles football. Think about where the Birds are right now, right? This should get you fired up. Eagles just won the Super Bowl. They're second since 2017. They got the revenge on the Kansas City Chiefs. They got to celebrate with a parade down Broad Street and to the Art Museum. They got to celebrate hanging out with the Lombardi Trophy. They got to celebrate by going to the White House. And they still have a loaded, deep, and young roster. Still arguably the most talented team in the NFL. They still have a lot of core pieces who are locked up for the foreseeable future. And Howie Roseman, in my opinion, had a solid 2025 draft class. I gave it a B grade, could have gone higher, but I thought there were some reaches there. Some other analysts really liked what Howie and Philly did. And here's the thing. Next year's draft class, obviously it's early, but it's said to be deeper and a little bit better than this year's class. So the Eagles will once again have an opportunity to add more young talent to their football team. You just have to love life right now as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And it brings this to the forefront as well. There is a lesson that we can all use with how the Philadelphia Eagles are running their organization right now, and it's led by Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, and yes, Big Dom, who plays a pivotal role. All good businesses plan ahead. Good sports organizations plan ahead. And the Eagles always are. They're, of course, always going all in for the next season, but they're always building their team with the future in mind. The Eagles sign players to contract extensions early. They get them at about 60 to 70% of what the market price ends up being because they sign these players before the market gets reset. The Eagles draft players to be replacements early for great players currently existing on the roster. Think Cam Jurgens for Jason Kelce, Jalen Carter for Fletcher Cox. Brandon Graham was getting older. What did the Eagles do? They drafted Nolan Smith. Other examples as well. And the Eagles can always foresee, yeah, we have this player in-house. He's really good. He's probably going to get paid. But they already have their replacements on the roster. Moro Ajomo going to step in for Milton Williams. Keely Ringo going to step in for Darius Slay. And this year in the draft, we had the best offensive line in football in 2024. We built our team in the trenches. Let's draft 3 more offensive linemen and add to that position group for the best offensive line coach in the NFL. This is why the Eagles have an opportunity to do something special. And if the Eagles can continue to stay healthy, because the fortune of health has been on their side, they can go on a dynastic run. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles, go Birds. No one likes us. We don't care. And if you want some Eagles jerseys to support this great football team with a roster full of awesome players, get your Eagles jerseys today. Chatsports.com/Eagles jersey. You can get the rookie Jahad Campbell. You can get a Kelly Green jersey, a white jersey, jersey for men, jerseys for women, jerseys for kids, past players, current players, offensive players, defensive players, young players, old players, OGs, whatever you want. Just go to chatsports.com/Eagles jersey. Get your jerseys today and use that link so that Fanatics knows that Chase Sr., Chat Sports, and Philadelphia Eagles now sent you. If you want to give me a follow on social media, I cover the Birds here on YouTube. I put a lot of the content that I do and additional content for free up on my social media pages on X and Instagram, big platforms over there. So give me a follow and say what's up.